to the Combe Valley Campers live Q&A with me, Leigh, where you can pretty much ask me anything regarding van conversion, camper vans, traveling, YouTube stuff, our events. We're here to answer your question, which is nice. It's going to be more of a chilled one today. The last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy with everybody just getting right in, which is absolutely brilliant, but it's been quite the week this week and quite the weekend. You might be able to tell. A little bit tired this week. So it's going to be a nice chilled one. I want to open up the chat with you guys, see how you all are, and we can have an hour chit-chatting. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? If you have watched this channel before, you know that we normally start the conversation with who you are, where you're from, what van do you have you worked on it this weekend? Have you been away traveling in it this weekend? Have you just bought a van? Have you got loads of questions to ask? Are you just starting out on your journey? All I can see at the bottom here when your comments come through are generally just your usernames. If your username is your actual name, brilliant. However, if it's not, please leave your name down below in the comments so we can sort of give you guys a shout out and go from there. So if you've not watched it before, I'm Leigh. This is the Combe Valley Campers YouTube channel, and we do a live every Sunday. And people are already getting in the comments about the other question we ask, and that is, what are you drinking this evening? I have a cup of tea, again, in one of my youngest daughter's homemade mugs. You know when they do like a Father's Day or Mother's Day mug? This is what we've got going on today. So what have you got going on? Let's start with the comments. We've got Goggy straight in there. Motivate. It says, hey, hey, homies and homettes. John Sear, evening boss. Alex Renouf says, sup. John Sear says, coffee as usual. Even before I ask the questions, that is awesome. Michael Cosgrove says, hot chocolate, good stuff. Apparently Keeley says, free Diddy, good for them. Alex Renouf says, American Pale Ale I brewed last month. Sounds nice. I would love to have a sample one day, maybe. Ricardo Alain, sorry if I've totally brutalized your name there. Nick with 2K says, how you doing, young man? Very good, thank you. Dean Barnes says, Jack Daniel's Honey. Now that is a good drink for around the campfire. I know that for a start. Casper the Friendly Cooking Apple, he's back in. 1664, just put the tree up. Do you know what? We put our tree up today. I've been working pretty much all weekend, but I managed to get home at about, what did we say, about 3 o'clock. Got all the stuff down from the attic, put the tree up with the kids, the Christmas music. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. John Sear says, what are your recommendations for making a van furniture L-shaped bed removable? Great first question. Let me just answer Nick, who's in here. Nick with 2K says, house tour when? I don't really want to show you my house, to be honest. You've seen enough of my workshop, but there doesn't really need to be a house tour. That's my space. Certainly not on this channel, that's for sure. But thanks for asking. So John Sear says, what are your recommendations for making a van furniture L-shaped bed removable? Now, what we've done in that before, yeah, there we go. John Sear says, I was thinking captive nuts and the ply floor. Yes, that was going to be exactly that. Now, what we've done before for customers who wanted the same thing was the wood captive nuts. So they're like a threaded collar, and they have a big, quite a coarse thread on the outside of the collar, and on the inside they have an M8 or an M10, and then as long as you drill the right size hole and you've got a good thick, let's say a 12mm floor, you can you use an Allen key to wind those captive nuts into the floor. And then what we did before was we either used M10 thumb screws, you know, with the big plastic thumb screws, or M10 or M8, depends on what you require. Metal thumb screws, they look like big wing nuts. So yeah, I would say that. So Nick says captive nuts the best choice. Yeah, absolutely. Captive nuts, I would say exactly the same thing. We've used that on a few vans before. Works really, really well. And then you know you've always got it. And I would say that for anything removable. You've either got you can either go the whole hog and do a captive nut in the metal floor, much like your anchor bolts or your cargo lashing point. Your cargo lashing points in the floor, or if you just want it attached to the wood, as long as your ply floor is nice and flat and it's held down properly, then yeah, absolutely. So what you guys been up to this weekend or the last week? We had a very, very busy live last Sunday, which was excellent. I was almost out of breath by the last one. So is it just all been Christmas prep? I know it's been pay weekend pay week this week as well. So I'm sure everybody's been out doing some form of shopping as well. So it's a busy, busy time, isn't it? Crazy, crazy time. John Sear says, awesome, thanks. I have a 12mm hardwood floor. Slav says, do you oil your head? No, I'm just naturally this shiny. Do you like it? I'm actually due a trip to the barbers on Wednesday. I know it sounds ridiculous going to the barbers for a bald guy, but it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to go down to barbers. You know, you get half hour to yourself. He does me a nice close shave on my head, shaves my beard, but certainly don't oil it. I'm shiny enough as it is. But this is a day's worth of work as well, under a woolly hat. That's probably why I'm extra shiny. Mac and Hoth says, hey Leigh, Mac here. I'm on the Guinness. Good job, my man. Yeah, I'm just on a cup of tea. Motivate says, is there a standard go-to way to attach overhead cabinets in a T5, T6 that is capable of holding some weight? Same sort of deal there, Goggy, with the captive nuts. When we're bolting anything to the inside of a van, we will use a riv nut. And again, you can get them anything from, I think, M3, M4, all the way up to whatever size you want. We use them a lot, but if you are holding any sort of weight against a van, then yeah, a metal on metal on metal fastening is your best way to go. Certainly not like wood screws or anything else if you're holding up certainly weight within the van. I wouldn't recommend anything other than, let's say, a riv nut and an M8. I hope that helps. Casper the Friendly Cooking Apple says, walking the dog in a very rainy Hastings. I didn't know you were Hastings. Did you know you were that close to us? I'm currently sitting in Bexhill, which is, what, 5 miles away? John Sear says, sorry I missed last Sunday. I was away getting a new dog. John, tell us more. What's the dog all about? That sounds awesome. Ed says, who does your hair? I go to a barber's down in Bexhill. It's CMC Barbers in Bexhill. Very good guy, Connor, down there. Ricardo says, speaking of floors, best idea for underfloor heating. I think it's the route I want to go. Do you know what? Depending on your size of van, I think underfloor heating is getting more and more popular. I've never fitted it. I know people who have, but I have never fitted it. So whether that be an electric system or a water system, I can't really give any advice on it, I'm afraid. Fastbuck says, hello from Scotland. Good evening, Fastbuck. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Scotland, one of my favourite places. Absolutely love it up there. Dean Barnes says, I'm converting a Ford Transit Custom long wheelbase, looking for a U-shape seat / bed. Any suggestions? Yes. I would take a look at Cymru Campervan Furniture. Cymru as in the Welsh pronunciation and spelling. We have some of their bits and pieces. I mean, there's lots of people out there who do it, but we have a U-shaped / galley interior in our showroom at the minute that you can come down and look at, and it's fantastic. And they've got all sorts of options for pull-out drawers, and if you want a custom application, they can do that too. Dari Noah says, hello from Dubai. Good evening. Somewhere I'd like to go. I'd love to go to Dubai. Goggy's come back. Says, thanks. Do you use the existing holes that hold the roof liner for the riv nuts? No. It depends entirely on what you're trying to hang up. Generally, if it's, again, we do a lot of custom stuff. So wherever the best point for that fastening would be, we'd drill a fresh hole and then put a riv nut in. So let's say, for example, an M6 riv nut needs a 9mm hole, an M8 needs an 11, I think, something like that. So yeah, we kind of put the holes where we need them and chuck a riv nut in them. My name is question mark, who's tuned in. That's the username. My name is question mark. Oh, Bexhill, the posh Eastbourne for pensioners. Yes. I believe the saying I've heard is Brighton, Eastbourne and Bexhill are the 3 steps to heaven. Brighton being the youngest and Bexhill being the oldest. Nice place though. James says, evening Leigh. Good evening, James. Nice to see you. John Sear says, I already have a Belgian Shepherd, but he's really my dog. New puppy is a Maltacon for my wife and daughter. I'm going to have to Google that later. I can't Google whilst I'm on my phone talking to you guys. So yeah, I'll have to Google that one later. Dean Barnes says, I'm also from sunny Wales. Very nice, Dean. Again, that's one of my favourite places. I've spent far too much of my life in Wales. I'm ex-soldier, so I did a lot of my training down in Sennybridge and over the Brecon Beacons and over Snowdonia. And as a family, we spend a lot of time in Wales. I think we've been 4 times this year, either down to the Brecons or up to Snowdonia. Absolutely love it. Casper the Friendly Cooking Apple says, your vid outside the Delaware was when I first saw you and subscribed. Thank you very much. Gary Plumley says, in the pub with a cold beer, waiting to get a glow plug changed this week. Yeah, it's getting that time of year, isn't it, when you can't get away with having a glow plug down, can you? Yeah, last Christmas we had some poorly glow plugs in Bully. And man, I'm sure my neighbours were pissed at me because the amount of time it would take to start that van in the mornings. Mark's in. He says, hi, Vauxhall Vivaro, short wheelbase, full bed or slatted bed? Our first conversion about to take place. Many thanks, Mark and Sylv. John, Mark, if you haven't decided on the best interior layout for you guys yet, I would keep shopping. If you're still undecided, rather than you spending lots of money on a specific interior layout, go out and just start using your van. We're saying this every week at the moment, which is really nice because the message is getting out there. But if you're undecided about your interior, there's 3 main things I'd recommend you get first. One is a heater in your van. The second is a decent compressor cool box in your van. And the third is an awning. And then maybe one of those EcoFlow power packs to start with. Because once you have those 3 to 4 things, you can literally use your van for anything and go anywhere at any time. Let's say you just chuck an airbed in the back, a blow-up mattress in the back. Then you can figure out what interior you want to build. Maybe you make a rough interior out of some recycled pallets or some battens and ply, just to give yourself an idea, but don't go committing fully on an interior you're unsure about yet. And certainly don't ask my opinion on what interior is the best, because my camping style might be way different to your camping style, and it might be different to John's, or it might be different to Sandy's, or you know what I mean? Everybody's got a different camping style, everybody's got different requirements. So get around, have a look at different vans and use your van, maybe with nothing in it for a season, and then you can really see what you use your van for and how you camp. You might camp inside the van, so do all your cooking and washing inside the van. Many don't. You might do all your cooking and living outside the van, like I do, for example. So yeah, your layout is completely your preference, and it's not something I can kind of give my opinion on, apart from what I've just said. Call it snippets. No, they've removed their comment. John Sear says, Mark, what you is your Vivaro. Cockwombler 44 says, big love from Devon Shagger. Or Devon Shagger, one of the others. My name is question mark. It says, I live in my truck just outside of Lewis. There's a nice part of the world, is Lewis. Cool It Snippets says, hi, Cool It Snippets from North Shields. Can I use Dodomat Hex Deaden for my T5.1 floor? I've ordered too much from your site. Yeah, of course you can. What we normally recommend is what's called Dodo Deaden Duo, which is kind of hex mat and van liner in one product, which makes it super convenient to fit in your van. But if you've got some leftover Dodo hex and you've got some leftover insulation, just put that down. It's going to make not much of a difference at all. But yes, certainly you can use that. My name is says, I just installed a brand new Propex electric and gas heater. It's brilliant. Yeah, do you know what? Heating in the van is just a game changer. Motivate says, right, the awning video you posted up today, is the new one any good then? Have you watched the video? Yeah, do you know what? The new so if you didn't know, and this is your first time watching me or watching this channel or finding this channel, what we also do is upload how-to videos on how to convert your camper van. And today at 6 p.m. we uploaded our latest video, we uploaded our latest video, which was regarding the new Fiamma awning. The sort of go-to standard for everybody is the 45S, which fits on Transits and VWs and Vivaros, and that's like the gold standard, so to speak. But now they've brought out a new one called the F43 van. And it's a lighter product, it's slimmer, it's got a new wind-out handle, and it goes out further. It's a really, really nice piece of kit. That's what we've just fitted to my wife's van, Dommy's van. And yes, it is as good as we say it is. But before I move on to my next question, I want to show you guys something. And this is something we've literally just released on the website. Because it's the 1st of December, that is our new Christmas bauble. And you may think, that's not very Christmassy, it's not very much a bauble, but check this out. You spin that round, and then it's a bauble, look. How good is that? They can be a bauble, they can be a hanger from your rear view mirror. A friend of mine designed his for his company, Simon from Butty's Bits, and I absolutely loved it. And this is the first year I've been able to afford to get these made. So stainless steel, laser cut, designed in conjunction with Butty's Bits. How nice are they? They're £5 on our website right now. They're really, really cool. Absolutely love them to bits. And again, if you finish using them for Christmas, just hang it over your rear view mirror. Combe Valley Campers, Christmas bauble. I'm not even going to feel guilty about doing a plug. It's my channel. John Scrivener, good evening. Says, hi, watching the live video, sitting in my motorhome. I'm now a Victron convert after watching you and James from Rain Automotive. Brilliant. It's really, really good stuff, actually. Really nice stuff. Well, thanks for watching the videos, John. Paul says, could you explain the speed/weight limit rules for the UK with regards to an L1H1 Vivaro type van? Would I be limited to 50 miles an hour on a single carriageway? That depends entirely on how your vehicle is registered. I can't say much more than that because the rules, they don't change all the time, but depending if your van is registered as a commercial vehicle, as public transport, as a van with windows, as a motorhomes, all of those things might change the way your vehicle can have its speed limit set on single carriageways and dual carriageways. So go and do a bit more research. We did a video on this in 2019 when the DVLA changed their rules about registering your van as a camper. So if you can find that, on our channel, that's a really good video. It's the first video I've actually ever really scripted. I did days of research on that and had loads of notes. You might be able to tell by that video. But yeah, that was 5 years ago or something like that. But yeah, good video. And yeah, lots of pros and cons about changing your van and its registration type, if you can do it. Cockwombler 44 says, I've got an 06 Bongo and I love it, dude. Nice work, my man. Do you know what? There's a van out there for everybody. John Sear says, almost forgot. Good evening, Tommy. She's in the next room. I'm sure she'll say hello if she comes in. What she's normally doing, if you notice right at the beginning, we get a couple of spammers in. And normally she's in the other room just dismissing all of these spammers so we don't get our, our text feed full of shit. Motivate says, I haven't watched it yet. Dean Barnes says, amazing videos, kind sir. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. My name is question mark says, I have a 40-foot 78 Bedford TK Marsden Pantechnicon removal truck. Been living in it since 84. That's rad. Do you know what? If I was to do it all over again, that might be something I do. That might be something I do. Alex Renew says, thumbs up. Thank you very much. Paul Morris says, brilliant. Thanks. Yes. Christmas baubles. Christmas baubles. Christmas baubles. Maybe Dommy can comment on this and maybe leave a link in the description. I don't know if she can make that work. So, second plug of the night. We are 20 minutes in now. can I just say, first of all, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm really enjoying doing these Sundays again. If you have enjoyed what you've seen so far, please have a look around your screen. There could be 3 dots somewhere. If you've enjoyed the content, please share it with people who you think might benefit from this. And also there is a thumbs up logo. If you're able to give our video a thumbs up, that would be absolutely amazing. It really, really helps with us and our exposure and getting it out there. So there's 43 of you watching it right now. In fact, that 43 went right down the moment I asked for people to do me a thumbs up. There you go. How fickle is the world? But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's wonderful to see you all here and have you all in here. Tim says, hello folks, hi Leigh, Dom, have you seen the all-new carpet lining sold by Transport HQ made out of recycled plastic, 4-way stretch, etc. Cheaper and harder wearing and much greener apparently. Where's Wilma says, hi Leigh, Kieran and Catherine in Lincolnshire here again, hi guys. Just in the car on the way back from Howsham/Eastbourne after visiting our poorly grandma down there. We'll make sure to pop in next time. Yes, please do. Adventure Van Life is in, says, hello all, sorry we are late. Very nice to see you guys. That's Paul and family. They own the blue Sprinter that you may have seen on our social media channels that we are currently building to turn into an Arctic Explorer, which is probably the reason why my beard's gone really grey, because it's not the simplest of builds. Casper the Friendly Cooking Apple says 98 Bilbo converted T4, currently trying to sympathetically update it. Brilliant job, my man. Brilliant job. Will you, bearing in mind your Hastings, will you be coming to see us at Christmas for the Campers and Coffee event? For those who don't know, we hold 3 events a year. We do what's called Campers and Coffee. We have one in June, one in September, and one at Christmas. Our June and September events are overnight stays. We do a 1-night stay over and effectively a 2-day show, because it's grown from just a 1-day afternoon event. And then on the Christmas event, we have a showdown on the Stade in Hastings, which is wonderful. So if you're in the area, come down and say hi. Sadly, there are no more parking tickets because we've only got limited space down there, and they all sold out within a couple of days. So it would be lovely, lovely to see you, because where it is being held is free. You know, it's just a public area. So if you want to come down and see all the wicked camper vans all decorated with Christmas lights and fancy dress people and that sort of stuff, please do come down in a couple of weeks' time. Alan Wilson says, hi guys, from the south of Scotland. Good evening, Alan. Working on my T5 tomorrow, cabinets going in at work just now, currently serving drinks. Serving drinks and watching a YouTube live? I need your job, mate. That sounds wicked. Motivate Goggy says, people are actually living in their van since Corona and have saving loads since the van life movement kicked off. Although it's actually illegal, why is it illegal when it's clearly a win-win? But that's probably why. I don't know if it's illegal. Depending on the country you're in, I don't know. But maybe that's why it's illegal, because it's a win-win for everybody. There's a conversation we could get into. Casper the Friendly Cooking Apple says, is that on the Jerwood car park? That's right, the old coach car park, also known as the Stade now, where the fishing village is. Fishing village, you know, that end of Hastings, that's where we are. Charlie F says, good evening. What was the thickness of the Dodo Duo you used on the floor in your recent video? Loving the step-by-step series. Dodo Duo used on the floor. The Dodo Duo only comes in one thickness, as far as I know. Hang on, let me just ask Dom. Dom? Yeah. Could you just double check? This is the fact controller. There's a Greg James from Radio 1 joke. Can you just double check the thickness of the Dodo Duo and if it only comes in one thickness? I'm pretty certain, 99.9% certain, Dodo Duo only comes in one thickness. Yeah. She'll check now. But thanks for the question, Charlie. Yeah, luckily I have. Did you see any of the yeah, the Dead and Duo? Did you ever see any of the American political debates? And they have like a team of people fact checking. I only saw snippets that are through social media. I certainly didn't sit down and watch it. And how there's a team of people just fact checking everything that the delegates or It's funny. 5 minutes. Are you sure? So, opening it up this evening, question time to you guys. It's getting to that time of year. We're all sort of not winding down. Everything seems to be ramping up for a lot of people at the moment. But if you're planning on traveling next year, be it spring, summer, whenever time, what's your dream destination in your van and why? Let's open up the discussion back to you guys. Where would you go if you could pack up your van now, leave first thing tomorrow morning? Where would you go? Say again once more. 7mm is the duo. Yeah, if you could pack up your van and go anywhere tomorrow, where, who with, and why? I'd love to see your reasons why. I'll wait for a couple to come through and then I'll tell you where I'm going. Maganza DZ says, hello pal, nice to see your contents as always. Well, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Appreciate that. Alan Wilson says, pub landlord, pub owner, you definitely don't want my job, no weekends off. John Sear says, heading to the New Forest next spring, adventure van life, says Arctic Circle, then Route 66, mad, going to Route 66. Now that would be a dream of mine, absolutely. I'd love to do Route 66, but it'd have to be in like a muscle car. In fact, talking of muscle cars, has any of you spotted my t-shirt? And do you know what car this is and which TV/internet series this is from? Because I'm wearing this t-shirt in remembrance. John Sear says, today I'd head to the Netherlands. Ham Radio Mobile, Duncan, good evening and thanks for tuning in. It says, radio van, west coast of Scotland, parked up by the sea and away from the NC 500. Nice. Paul Morris says, have you or are you planning to do an EV van conversion? Do you have any tips on saving weight to preserve range? Do you know what? We haven't done an EV conversion. We had somebody with an electric NV200, a Nissan thing, and we didn't get into it. I would love to convert an EV. You know, I'd like to get a little Buzz, a little ID Buzz. I say they're little, they're quite big. I don't know if you've seen them in person, they're quite big. And I think the way to pack light, I'd have no interior, really, whatsoever. I'd have the biggest bed you can fit in it, and then everything in storage boxes, neatly put away. So there's no extra interior, because you don't really need one, because you're not in a motorhome, you're in a van. Just have everything in boxes. An awning, a big bed, maybe a roof tent if you're taking more than 2 people, and just have everything in boxes. That's the best way I'd do it. That would be my weight saving tips, that's for sure. Paul Morris, oh yeah, sorry, that was that one. Ham Radio says Dukes of Hazzard. No, it's not Dukes of Hazzard. Now, this car is called the General Mayhem, and it is from a YouTube/TV series called Roadkill. And last week, Roadkill, the TV series / car content series, was cancelled. It's been on the TV or been online. They've been making this show for 13 years. And it was cancelled last week. And the whole car community that was really into this, absolutely devastated. So this is my General Mayhem t-shirt from one of the hosts, David Freiberger. The 2 hosts were David Freiberger and Mike Finnegan. The 2 kind of heroes of mine. Luckily, I was in the fortunate enough position to meet David Freiberger and another one of the hosts when they came to the UK about 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago now. So yeah, this is my In Remembrance of Roadkill t-shirt. But if you've never seen Roadkill and you like adventures with cars and people doing silly things with cars, not crazy shit with cars, but just good fun adventures with cars and muscle cars and all sorts of stuff, watch Roadkill. It's brilliant. Motivate Goggy says, dream destination is drive to Thailand with my wife and daughter, then ferry over to the Bering Straits and drive through Alaska, Canada, USA, and down to South America. Wow, that sounds amazing. That really sounds amazing. Ricardo says, visit my friends in Fiumicino, Italy. Nice drive in the T5, yep. We visited Italy in Bully. Really beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We went to... Don, where was the place we loved in Italy? Savona? Savona. Campsite right on the beach. It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. James says, is it roadkill or something? I'm sure you've said about it before. That's right. Yeah. 89 Thunder Chunky's here. Nice to hear from you, my man. Not heard from you for a while. Not the movie, but I just watched Smokey and the Bandit. Excellent. Adventure Van Life. Elon Musk is bringing out a camper van in a year, and it's crazy cool. Not seen that. Dean Barnes says, heading across Europe in February, March, final destination, Poland. Amazing. We did Poland this year. Fantastic place. My wife is Polish, so we go to Poland twice a year, pretty much regardless. But normally we travel round Europe to get to Poland. This year we drove straight to Poland, stayed with our family for about a week, but in between that we travelled loads, and then we headed right up to the Polish coast, which was stunning. So if you need any hints or tips, give us a shout, Dean. Motivate Goggy says, T-shirt looks like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, this is a 68 Dodge Charger, which they rebuilt using all used parts. Amazing. Colin Lee says, beard's on point. Thank you, my man. It's getting there, isn't it? It's getting there. It's been a couple of months, but yeah, it's getting there, dude. It's very grey, though. John Sear says, MCM is 17 years young and still going strong. I only saw Roadkill with MCM. Yeah, do you know what? I'm a huge Mighty Car Mods fan as well, and I've been following them for donkeys, for absolute donkeys. I think the first video I ever saw of theirs was where they fitted an iPad into a dashboard. But I watch them every week. I watch them, and I watch their funny little podcast type channel as well. What's it called now? Can't remember. But yes, Mighty Car Mods, Roadkill, all of those, they're brilliant. No Account says, their previous customer, I'd really love to get some experience working with a conversion company like yourselves. I'm pretty local and will work for free if you have any potential scope. Noah, ping us an email, my man. info@combevalleycampers.co.uk. Ping us an email. Adventure Van Life says, I agree. Exploring a T4 Lee's beard is very cool. It's very great. But I'm rolling with it. I'm certainly not going to dye the damn thing. No Account says, I'll format a proper email. Thank you very much. Super. He's done his own van thanks to your videos. Brilliant. Brilliant. And he says his wife is also Polish. John Sear says, did Ross decide on a name for his crafter? There we go. John Sear says the Unicorn Circuit, one of the 38. Yeah, I am one of the 38. Do you know what? Ross liked the Silver Surfer. I don't know why. I loved the name Albert because it's Ross's van that's called Albert Ross, Albatross. So the name was called Albert, or as a whole, Albatross, and I thought that was really, really cool. 89 Thunder Chunky says, hey Leigh, I stepped away from the VW ideas. I'm moving soon. Just got an engine light on my Astra. Oh no. Oh no. That's not a good look, is it? Ricardo says, beard looks cool, man. Adventure Van Life says, we need Noah next week. Is he free on Monday? Yeah, absolutely. Mazgana DZ says, what's your favourite, pal? Bay windows or Type 25s? Do you know what? I'm fortunate enough to own both. My bay window is a 69 project that was imported over from America. I haven't really touched it yet, but you can see some footage on it on the YouTube channel and on our social media. But in reality, my favourite is the Type 25 or T3 or Vanagon or whatever you want to call it. They drive like a modern car. There's lots of engine options. They're the biggest inside. Out of most of the vans of that wheelbase, they are the biggest inside. And I can tell you for why. If you own a T5, behind the driver and passenger seat, the load bed is about 8 feet. We now make certain parts for our business that are 10 foot long. And I know I can fit a 10x5 sheet of wood in bully. So from the seats to the tailgate, 10 foot, and close the door. 10 foot long. It's remarkable, absolutely remarkable. So I think they look great. They drive brilliantly. The position's good. There's loads of engine options, and you can still get spares anywhere. I've driven my Type 25 every day since Christmas, and I bloody love it. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting on the bay. That's for sure. Next question. Oh, what I was going to say is, right, so we had a couple of people comment about their dream trip. Now, there's 46 people watching right now. I'm going to put the question out again. If you could go anywhere in it, okay, we're all planning next year's trip. Where are we going? If you could go anywhere next year, where are you going? Where are you driving to? Who you're taking, and for how long, and why? Do you know what? Obviously, we love chasing the sun when we go to Europe. I love Switzerland. Going back to Italy is a dream of mine. Maybe going back to Austria. But the one place I'd love to travel is round Ireland. I've been lucky enough to visit Ireland a couple of times with work in a previous job. And that was right on the west coast, and it's gorgeous. And I'd love to do the coast of Ireland in a van, because I believe it's a path not very well trodden, not, let's say, unlike the NC 500, and I would love to do that. I would love that. And that's with Dommy, my wife, that's with the girls, that's with the dog, and I think they'd absolutely love it too. Dean Barnes says, what part of Poland do you normally visit? My family, or my wife's family, is from an area called Lower Silesia. So if you imagine you're looking at a European map and you see the Czech Republic and Prague right in the centre, if you were to draw a line directly east from Prague to the border of Poland, it's basically that area there. So it's like anywhere between, depending on the route you take, it's anywhere between 850 and 1,000 miles. We normally take 2 days to drive there. It's wicked. So for those of you who have just tuned in and wondered who the hell you're looking at, what the hell you're watching, my name's Leigh. This is the Combe Valley Campers YouTube channel. We convert vans and we show you how. Every Sunday, normally after a video is uploaded, I do a live between the hours of 8 and 9. We're 37 minutes in as we speak, 38 minutes in as we speak. And we answer your questions regarding vans, campers, conversions, travel, all sorts of stuff. And this is what you're watching now. We talk about who you are, where you're from, where you're going, what van you've got, have you done any work on it, have you been camping in it, and also what you're drinking. I'm on a brew right now, so if you want to make a comment, if you want to get involved in the chat, either answer my previous question about where you want to go, where would you go in your van, or tell me what you're drinking. Chris Rogers says, do you stock the molly boards for rear transporter doors like you are fitting to the van going to the Arctic? Cheers. No, those rear molly boards are from Williams, and we love them. We absolutely love them. So he makes them specifically for a van, and or he makes them. He makes universal molly boards, and they're brilliant. We absolutely love them. We fitted them quite a bit now. Ham Radio Mobile says, I really love the Safari window I bought from you, although someone did say we could freelance as an ice cream van. Yeah. It's the best of both worlds, isn't it? It's a lovely flush window and it opens up so wide. CJM Typer says, good evening, I hope you're okay. What power portable systems do you recommend? One that gives you the best bang for your buck. Look at the reviews. I don't have a preference. I'm not affiliated with anybody with power banks. I don't have a preference to power banks, but I know there are many out there. I would certainly go for one that is branded over any of these new up and coming Temu specials. So a Jackery, an EcoFlow, I can't remember the other names. The Jackery, EcoFlow, and a Bluetti are the names that spring to mind. So have a look at those. Look at what you get for your money. We're still in Black Friday or Cyber Monday as of tomorrow. So you might get a great deal. Have a look this evening. Sorry, do excuse me. I'm very, very tired today. Been a long weekend of work. Adventure van life. Okay, Leigh. Back to you. Where would you go, unlimited time and money? I'd tour America for like a year. If I could jump in bully, get him shipped over to America, and then go and tour the States. I'd love to just tour all 54 states. It is 54, isn't it, or 52? And then maybe dip into South America and do Canada. You know what I mean? I mean, I just want to travel. Travel, all day, every day. But I would love to, like, that would be the ultimate dream for me, is either ship bully or we build a massive bus-based, like school bus-based motorhome and just go and travel the Americas. I'd absolutely love that to death. Absolutely love it. But thanks for the question. Mesgana DZ says, Bijay in Algeria, clean and salty water. Well, I will look back at these comments later, take note of that and look into it, because that sounds lovely. No Account says, drive up the west side through the Cairngorms to Skye and back this August. Need to do more. It's amazing. Lovely. Ham Radio Mobile says, you should visit North Uist and travel south down to Vatersay. Lots of beaches to chill. Yeah, absolutely lovely. Alex Renault says, have you ever considered a sliding drawer under the Rusty Leigh rock and roll bed? Yeah, absolutely. And we've made those before as well for people. There's all sorts of options, isn't there? There's slide out kitchen pods, there's drawers, there's, all sorts of things. But yes, we have considered them, and we've actually made them for customers as well. Ty Dioxin, good evening, says, hello, can you pass on my thanks to Dominica for going the extra mile, literally, last week with my order from Busbox. Great to receive outstanding customer service. Anthony. Well, thank you very much, Anthony. I really appreciate that. Domi, did you hear that?
Yes, that's the one that we will be ordering.
Yes. She didn't directly say it, but thank you. Ham Radio says, CJM Bluetti AC180 is only $520, a total bargain. Well, there you go. Alan Wilson says, wish you could get Safari windows for a T4. Technically, you can. If you had a look at my video with the 2K T5, I fitted Safari windows to that. Now, they are designed for bigger vans. They're quite expensive, but they're more motorhome or adventure van ones. I think the video is adventure windows in your camper. Take a look at it. But you can get Safari windows for your T4, but they would be universal. Goggy says, my neighbour sent me a video of being able to make your own power supply using lithium-ion 18650 packs. I can send a link if you like. Well done, my man. Thank you so much. Dean Barnes says, do you have any intention of selling an infill floor for the Ford Transit Custom Long Wheelbase? If the market is strong enough, then yes, absolutely. These are all the things we have to consider when we make new products, and we're not a big company, so investing time and money into a new product that we might not sell many of is quite difficult. But yeah, if there's the demand for it, then absolutely. Alan Wilson says, when I sell the pub, I'm going to build a bigger van and take here driving to Australia. Mate, that sounds like the dream. Absolutely. CJM Type says, Hailey, what power supply would you recommend for a T6.1 transporter conversion? In Dommy's van, we haven't actually got the video out yet, but we have a Clayton power pack in Dommy's van. And we currently have a discount code for Claytons. We can get you a 10% off a Clayton. Go to our website, take a look at the links we have there. Now, bearing in mind, Claytons are £2,500 to £3,000. We can get you a discount for 10%. So take a look if you are in the market for one. Cool It Snippet says, hi, my last question for tonight. Is there a van shade for twin sliders? Thank you and Merry Christmas, Brian. Brian, yes, there is. If you have a T5, T6, and you have twin slider vans, and they do you a van shade for them. If you would like more information, please do give us a shout tomorrow on email, info@combevalleycampers.com. If you would like them carpeted, if you'd like them painted, if you've got a specific colour you want, we have demo boards in our showroom as well, so you can take a look at those. So yeah, there's lots of different options, but if you want to if you want more information, please, please send us an email. Are your floors and infill panels collection only? The 12, weirdly enough, the 12mm floors can be delivered. The 9mm can't, I know. The infills at the moment we can't ship, mainly because they're really fragile. You know, you've got a piece of 9mm ply and then you're cutting all the structure out of it. It's pretty floppy and it will cost more and way more in packaging than it will to actually make the damn thing. So yeah, at the moment they are collection only. CJM Type says, thanks Leigh for your answer on the Clayton Power Supply. You are more than welcome. We love the Clayton Power Supply, by the way. We rinsed the heck out of it over summer and it was really good. John Sear says, how long until Campers and Coffee? Well, the Christmas one's in 2 weeks. Mesgana DZ says, always wondered which is better and keep a bus's value, upholstering a bay window with custom furniture or keep it original. Good question. Now, is that just a standard bay that's never been converted, or are you talking about a Westphalia? Are you talking about, excuse me, maybe a UK conversion like a Dormobile or something like that? Or is it just a panel van that is now converted into a van? If you can find an original bay window that has never been touched, never been painted, keep it as it is, because not making any more bays. And the last thing we need is another camper van bay. Sorry, someone's just made a very good comment. It's completely thrown me off. So if you find a bay that's original, keep it original. If you find one that's already been customized to a point, then yeah, do that. You do what you want with it. The valuation market for bays and splits at the moment is quite weird. You can pick up a split for a tenth of what they were valued at 6 years ago, or during COVID times. It's crazy. Paul Morris says, if the infill was like a set of jigsaw pieces, would it solve the postage issue? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. And James, if you want us to ship the infill piece to you, like a jigsaw, message me personally or send us an email and we can effectively make that into a jigsaw for you. Thank you, Paul. You know, it just needs another set of eyes. It needs another brain, doesn't it, to just go, that's a good idea. Yeah, you're right, it is. Alex Renouf says, what's your next thing to do on Bully? Bully needs some good work. Bully needs some good work. He is very, very, very tired. I'm currently driving him with only 3 gears. Where I went to Wales a few weeks ago and he lost third on the way. So I had to do 35 miles remaining of my journey in first, second and fourth, which is quite difficult in the Welsh countryside. And then I drove the 250 miles back with only 3 gears, and I've been driving him every day since with only 3 gears. I have got a replacement gearbox. I just haven't got the time to replace it. I'm just working 24/7 at the moment, so I'm still driving my van with 3 gears. He is rusty. He is leaking. He is knocking. He's just a very tired boy. You know, he's 41, 42 years old, and I drive him like I stole him everywhere. But yes, the next plan is to restore the bodywork. Sympathetically, I'm not going like dipped and stripped and everything else. And I have a PD 130 conversion to go in it as well, so I look forward to that. Goggy. Dommy, yeah. Rubber trims for Goggy tomorrow. Yeah. There's your answer. Paul Morris says you're welcome. James says thanks, Leigh. No, you thank Paul. Dan Noble, good evening, Dan. Nice to see you, my man. I miss you guys. Are you planning on going full Jed with the beard? No, I'm thinking about going full Dan with the beard, actually. You know, we're about the same colour, my man. No, Jed's is like 9 years worth of growth. I don't think I could deal with 9 years worth of not trimming my beard. Alan Wilson says, are van shades available for a T4 Caravel long wheelbase? No, sadly not. Have a look on the Van Shades website. They're not available for a lot of the older vans. In fact, they're only available for about 4 vans. The Transporter platform, the Transit Custom platform, and I think, is it the PCV platform, which is like the Toyota, the Renault, the Vauxhall, all based on the Vivaro platform. I believe that's the only thing they, again, like the floors, it's a time of investment versus what you can sell. Is it worth it? Is it the ROI? Is it worth the ROI? Or is there an ROI? So older vehicles, no, there isn't. There is no van shades. That being said, if you speak to Van Shades and say, I want a van shade of this dimension, I will build the frame for it if you just make me a blind of this height and this wide. They'll do it for you. We do it all the time. Everything we build is a custom application, and including that Sprinter we're building at the moment. We've just built our own frames and they look wonderful. No account says, what a testament. I'm guessing you're talking about my chat about Bully. I don't know. Maganzadi said, I have a 13-window bus from Brazil that I wanted to restore and take it for a long journey. My question is, what would the best engine fitment for a long journey in a hot country be? Is that a 13-window split or a bay? Do you know what? Most engines, as long as they are maintained properly and regularly, will deal with any weathers. Like they don't break for no reason. So if you're fully prepared for hot climates, your engine will survive hot climates. So it doesn't really matter what engine you go for. You know, if it's an actual air-cooled bus, a 1600 twin port that's well tuned. If it's hot and you're going up to high altitudes, make sure you take your tools to adjust the jetting or the air fuel mixture, etc., etc. If it's hot, you might want to think about extra cooling or an oil cooler or whatever. Long journeys in a hot country. Now we've taken Bully all over the place, and he's a 1.9 turbo diesel, and the only time he ever got hot, properly hot, was when we're climbing mountains fully laden in the summer, which we tend to do every year. So we have to be very careful. And my cooling system is fucking perfect on Bully, because I've spent a lot of time replacing pipes and just making sure the system's all right. So I have no fear he would overheat. And I drive him carefully when I'm in those environments too. So, you know, there's no one answer to that question. Dan Noble says, I'm much greyer than you. Keep getting Father Christmas jokes. Goggy says, you could be Santa. Joke, what goes? Oh. There we go. Maganza Bay, air cooled or water cooled. Santa going backwards. Brilliant. Sorry, that was Goggy's joke. What goes? Oh, Santa going backwards. James says, have you ever installed a diesel heater in a T5 using the OEM ducting into the B pillar and driver step? No, I'm sorry, I have not. Dan Noble says, that's poor motivate. Yeah. Adventure Van Life says, using the pillar for the diesel heater is not the best idea. It's very narrow and creates lots of back pressure. There you go. There's the man that knows. He certainly does know as well. Right, we have 6 minutes. My clock has just ticked over to 54 minutes. I have 6 minutes left of this live, and I am going to stop at an hour because I'm absolutely bushed today. Absolutely bushed. I need a shower and I need to go to bed. What are your last questions? What are your last questions for us today? Again, it's been a lovely one. It's been a little slower pace today, which is lovely. Yeah, it's been nice talking about travel and destinations and the vans and all that sort of stuff. It's just great fun, absolutely great fun. So if you are still here and you are still watching, it is lovely to see you and hear from you and just to chat with you. This is the thing I love the most, is chatting with you guys. So if the video has been beneficial to you, if you did enjoy it, you did get something out of this today, what I would love for you to do as a little thank you is to have a look up in the top corner of your screen. There should be 3 dots somewhere. And if you do, if you give that a like or a thumbs up, there's a thumbs up button. That's brilliant. If you haven't commented yet down below, and there are 30 people, this has been great, by the way. Looking at the views and stuff, that's where I can see my views. My views have hit 50 odd today and gone down to 20 odd. So it's lovely to see people dipping in and out. It's really, really good. But if you are giving the video a thumbs up, that really, really, really helps. And it's, yeah, like I say, it's just lovely to chat with you. It's a nice way to spend an hour on a Sunday evening, that's for sure. Maganza says, thanks for your advice, always a pleasure. No, it's the pleasure is mine. It's so good, again, chatting to you. I just wish I could go traveling with all of you and just sit around a campfire with all of you. You know, I've been very fortunate in that I've been able to grow some fantastic relationships with people who I've met through the business or through Campers and Coffee, and being able to talk at the same level with all of you, because we're all into that one thing, aren't we? We're just all into camper vans and we're all into travel. And so we're all at this good base level that we can all start a conversation and we can discuss X, Y, and Z. And it's lovely. And, you know, it's really, really nice to speak to all of you and have a great chat. Adventure Van Life says, when's the new amazing store going to be open? Can't wait to see it open. Love the idea of a one-stop shop. It'll be open when I get all these vans out my door, my man. Yes. Adventure Van Life, that's Paul. He's leading me into a question or a comment, which is wonderful. So thank you very much. Yeah, we're creating a showroom at the Combe Valley Campers site, which is where you guys can come and literally try before you buy. We're going to have rib beds, Rusty Leigh beds, Avano bed systems, 40 winks. There'll be van shades. There'll be Victron stuff. There'll be Dodo mat. There'll be all sorts of products. We're going to have diesel heaters on the wall. We're going to have boo fridges that you can lift the lids on and see how cold they're getting things. Solar panels on the wall. Awnings hanging from the wall. Basically live displays. So basically making it, if you've ever been to the Science Museum for kids, or the kids section of the Science Museum, and it's got lots of things you can turn and press buttons where things light up, that's basically what a showroom's going to be. So you can operate the rib bed and see if you like the operation of the rib bed over, say, a Rusty Leigh. You can lift the lids of the hob and the sink in an interior. You can pull the drawers out of a Camry camper van furniture set. You know, all those sorts of things that you want to know. You know, you want to see the quality of something, you want to see the fit and finish of something, you want to feel a product before you actually invest good money into something, because these interiors and these bed systems and this Victron stuff, you know, they're not small chunks of change, they're big things. So yeah, we are setting ourselves up as a showroom. We are going to be open, I think official opening is early spring. That'll be when everything's said and done, but we are effectively a showroom already, but official opening will be in spring. So Paul, thank you very much for leading me into that. That has left me with about a minute and a half. I'm going to go straight back to the comments. Ricardo says, get some good rest, man. Thanks for this evening. Always something I can take away and use. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us too. Alan Wilson says, thanks guys, great to catch this live. Normally watch this in the bath on a Monday morning. I love that. Adventure Van Life says, come to the Arctic Circle with us, Dom. Dom will love it. Yeah, we have another van booked in January, and don't you know it, Paul? So we won't have the time for that, my man. Dan Noble says, hopefully catch up with you guys soon. Yeah, absolutely. Miss you guys. Motivate says, always appreciated you all here. This is my Sunday evening highlight. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, and what's the best power inverter to power household plug socket stuff? Is the Victron the gold top? It's not the gold top, it's the industry standard. For sure, yeah. No Account says, thank you for the responses. Glad to hear you are busy. I'm definitely going to send that email over and hopefully help out with the workload. Thank you very much. James says, thanks again, Leigh. Have a good week. Thank you too, James. Dean Barnes says, thanks for all the info, Leigh. Night to you, Dean. Julia Martin says, hi, Leigh. Watched a video on fitting rear seats and seat belts into a T5, which had fixings for both. I have a 2018 long wheelbase Vivaro. Are you aware of the same available for my van? I'm afraid I'm not, Julian. I'm not as well versed with the Vivaro. However, that being said, Vivaros do come in a combi flavour, which means they do have driver and passenger seat and then a rear row of 3. So if you scour the likes of Facebook Marketplace or eBay, you may well find somebody who has torn out the combi seat row for a van conversion or whatever it might be. So you might be able to pick them up for good money. Michael Cosgrove says, thanks Leigh, have a good one. Thank you too. We are just on the hour mark. That is 60 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm going to leave you with a happy December, Merry Christmas. We'll be back next Sunday, but check these out. These are our new Combe Valley Campers boreables. They're available on our website right now. We've had these specially designed and laser cut from stainless steel. How good are they? They're very cool. Anyway, nice to see you guys once again. Really enjoyed this evening. And have yourselves a good week, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.